Okay. There you go. What's up? This is JERMZ from JERMZ Boxing, aka Josesito, the Boxing Prophet. Yeah, I haven't been on giving predictions in a minute, probably like a month. So right now I'm gonna cram a lot of them in. All right. So this is gonna happen in this video. Okay, Josesito Lopez. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna just jump right into it. Okay, here you go, baby. Here you go. Josesito Lopez. You guys remember him fighting Victor Ortiz? Okay. Now the reason why I said it was such little attitude is because Victor Ortiz is not champion minded. He really upset me because you know what? If you look back into his life, into Victor Ortiz's life, and sort of calculate, you know, his actions, you would think that he would have a champion heart. You would think that he had a champion heart because, there you go. Because you know he went through so much. He went through so much. He raised his own siblings on his own. You know, he had just came from the street. You know, he had that champion heart, the champion mentality, at least in the street. And you would think that if for some reason that it would apply to him in the ring. When he fought Maidana, you know, he was undefeated at first. You know, Victor Ortiz, I'm talking about. He was undefeated. Maidana was supposed to be just like a tomato can. There you go. A tomato can that just was supposed to get his ass whooped by Victor Ortiz. Basically, a showcase for Victor Ortiz. It didn't happen that way. Maidana he has that tattoo of a gun just like tattooed in his belt. He pulled that out and bam, blasted Victor Ortiz over and over and over and over, and to the point where Victor Ortiz just couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it. He was like, I don't want to get beat up like this. You know, I gotta really think about it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he's not even a real champion, and he quit on his stool. Fights against Mayweather. Mayweather's dinging the shit out of him, and he gets so frustrated that he fucking headbutts Mayweather. And then Mayweather sucker punched him at the end. Who cares? It was legal. End of story. You know, Victor Ortiz did wrong right there. He got what was coming to him. Karma is beautiful. Okay? So, now in this fight, he's fighting Josesito Lopez. Josesito Lopez is a solid little guy. Coming up in weight too. He's naturally lighter. He's a little guy. Okay? He's a little guy. He went up against Victor Ortiz. Victor Ortiz was dinging him, bam, 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 doing his little right hook, right uppercut combination. And Lopez, you know, one eye, he was like doing the Rocky. He's like, fuck it, come on, boom, boom. And at one point, Josesito, with a left hook or a right cross, I don't know what punch it was, but it broke Victor Ortiz's jaw, you know, to the point where Victor Ortiz couldn't even close his mouth. He was like the whole time. And then he quit. Victor Ortiz quit. He broke his jaw and he quit. I understand it's painful, but you know what? I start thinking about Arthur Abraham. Arthur Abraham was a German fighter who got his jaw broken in four places by Edison Miranda. Edison Miranda was a monster of a puncher, and he broke his jaw in four places. With a jaw broken, Arthur Abraham was mauling with him. He was fighting, brawling with him. You know, Arthur Abraham he was fighting like this. You know, he couldn't close his mouth. He was bleeding, puking blood. That was him. He even with a broken jaw, Arthur Abraham his fucking grit and won the fight. That's what won me over. That's a real champion right there. If Victor Ortiz should have at least tried to go for the knockout, he could have at least went out on his shield. Had some dignity instead of saying, I can't fight anymore. And it didn't even look that dramatic. Not as dramatic as Arthur Abraham, who was puking blood all over his shirt. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of changed my opinion about Ortiz. And I almost gave Ortiz the fight when I was going to make a prediction between him and Canelo. Okay, you know, that's how much he let me down. He let a lot of people down, but you know, that's not the point. Now Josesito Lopez, being as small as he is, he's gonna fight, you know, Canelo Alvarez. I mean, the only reason I don't like that match is because it's almost like a weight mismatch. To me, Josesito Lopez is a little guy. He's not really a big puncher, not really a savvy boxer. He's just a little tough guy. You know, it's perfect. It's perfect for Canelo. Canelo, you know what I'm saying? Canelo's big. He's strong. He's a natural junior middleweight. And this guy's coming up from what, like welterweight? You know what I mean? 140 pounds. It's like he's fighting a chick. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from Josesito Lopez, because Josesito Lopez, you know, he got to Victor Ortiz, and I'm not saying he was lucky to have his jaw broken, but you know, he would have lost. He was losing that fight. He was going to lose that fight. You know what I'm saying? I think so. You know, I think so. You know, it was only a stroke of luck that he got that you know, his jaw broken, Victor Ortiz, even though he was dinging him here and there. But I'm saying that the fight against Canelo with him, I'd rather have seen. I mean, even though it would have been a mismatch, it would have been at least more exciting if they would have given Canelo to even Mayorga. You know, Mayorga would have had, you know, the hype alone would have been more entertaining than, you know. But I'm not taking away from Josesito Lopez. Josesito Lopez has to do what he did before, and he has to bite down and just go against all odds, go against all the critics, just as he did with Victor Ortiz. And he has to just go in there, get that. Beat the ginger out of that dude's hair, and at the end of the day, he should, you know, come out victorious. But I don't think that's gonna happen. That's wishful thinking. Canelo Alvarez is too strong. If Victor Ortiz was able to punch Canelo Alvarez like that, and Victor Ortiz wasn't even a savvy boxer in that fight, I think Canelo's got this one in the bag. His body work alone, bam, bam, bam. Bam! The left hooks to the body is going to slow down Josesito Lopez too much. And then at the end of the day, Josesito Lopez is going to be right there in front of Canelo Alvarez and getting dinged all the time, because that's just the way it's going to happen. I'm JERMZ for a reason, and that's what I'm seeing. Okay? So, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I give Josesito Lopez is really a puncher's chance, and he's not really a puncher. I give him, you know, because he's not gonna outbox Canelo, and the judges are not gonna be nice to Josesito Lopez. So I gotta think of realistically, it's gonna be unanimous decision for Canelo Alvarez, and still no questions will be answered unless Canelo gets dropped, which I doubt. Okay, so I just, you know, it's kind of upsetting that, you know, they still haven't stepped it up for him. You know, basically Canelo's still fighting B-class opponents and shit. Oh, hold on, baby, hold on. But yeah, dude, well, that's my opinion on that fight. On to the next fight. Now, this fight was really, really, really hard for me to. Now, this is a real prediction, man. Chad Dawson versus Andre Ward. Okay, now the reason why it was really hard for me to, because the styles, you got Chad Dawson, who's pretty much a well-rounded fighter, and you got Andre Ward, who's pretty much a well-rounded fighter. It's like you can't pick right here. You can't. But if I really gotta go down, I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna ignore. I'm gonna ignore technique. I'm gonna ignore technique, and I'm gonna go with brains on this one. I'm gonna go with psychological. Okay? I'm gonna go with psychological on this one and see where this takes me. When I say psychological, what I mean is how they behave with each other in the late rounds. Okay? Now, Chad Dawson, in the late rounds, he does get a little. The fighter comes out in him. Don't do that, baby. You're gonna hurt him. The fighter comes out in him at night. My bad. Late in the fight, Dawson starts turning into a fighter, boxer second. He almost starts to go for the knockout. Almost. I'm not saying he's a wild swinger and shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't, baby, don't do that. I'm not saying he's a wild swinger. I'm just saying that, you know, he's a fighter first, boxer second. Andre Ward is a boxer first, then fighter second. Wait, did I say that right? No. Chad Dawson is a fighter first, boxer second. I think I said that right. And then Andre Ward is a boxer first, fighter second. Which means that Andre Ward is going to use a lot of his little veteran tactics. You can call it dirty tactics. I call them veteran tactics because it's still somewhat legal. You don't get caught. It's like, you know, it's not illegal if the cops don't catch you. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of thing. But you know, the holding and the hitting. You know, when Andre Ward, you know, when he gets into you, you know, he starts like grab you, hit, and then hold, hit, and then hold. I think that's what's gonna really get to Chad Dawson at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really think that more of those roughhouse tactics of Andre Ward, they're gonna clash heads. You know, I see clashes of heads because of the way Andre Ward fights. He goes and grabs. When they clash heads, I feel that it's gonna cut, you know, Dawson. I rarely do predictions with cuts. The first time I did a prediction with cuts, headbutts, was with Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. And it really didn't happen the way I thought. Okay, but this is the second time I'm predicting a cut or a headbutt in it because of the way they fight. You got a southpaw, and you got to do that. You know that at the end of the day, he is a veteran-minded fighter. So one of those clinches is gonna actually like cut or hit Chad Dawson, and it's gonna get discombobulated. And to me, that's what's gonna make the fight. At the later rounds, if Chad Dawson doesn't kick it up and try to stay student-minded and only stick to fighting, he's gonna get outboxed. He's gonna get out-hustled by Andre Ward. Andre Ward's gonna be like turning him around, because that's what you do with a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? For a reason. What's his name? One of the brothers. What was it? Anthony Durrell. Whatever. For a reason, Andre Durrell. My bad. Andre Durrell. He pulled out of that fight. You know, I think he ducked Andre Ward. I really think so. Like in my heart, I think Andre Ward was ducked by him, by Andre, whatever the hell his name, Durrell. Okay. So I think, you know, that it took me a while. At first I wanted to give it to Dawson. I mean Ward. Yeah, Dawson. But I feel like Ward has enough what it takes to beat him. And I might be there live watching that shit here in Oakland. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for that fight to finally go through, because this guy, I've been watching Ward since day one. Since his first fight, I've been watching him grow. Every fight that he does, he outgrows himself. He outdoes himself. There's not many fighters out there like him. He's turning into like the Sugar Ray Leonard of the super middleweights, man. I'm serious, man. He can even go up to light heavyweight if he really wanted to. But it's Andre Ward. Super 6 is his domain. I mean, it's his lair. It's his dungeon. So that's where he's gonna stick, and he's gonna defend that, and no one's gonna beat him anytime soon. All right. So on to the next fight. Oh yeah, Randall Bailey versus Devin Alexander. Now Devin Alexander really impressed me when he outboxed the shit out of Maidana, because at that time I thought Maidana was gonna be like, you know, getting into his mind, you know, psychologically. I thought he was gonna like really break him down mentally, you know, because we've seen that we've seen Devin Alexander get broken down mentally in fights, you know, especially against Timothy Bradley. You know what I'm saying? Against Timothy Bradley, when he knocked out Urango, I was like, damn, that's a puncher. Randall Bailey. Now this is a different monster, homie. This is a different beast overall, okay? Because I predicted the last two fights that I've seen Bailey fight live against, what the hell's his name? Jackson Bonsu. When he fought Jackson Bonsu, I think it was Jackson Bonsu. Jackson Bonsu was like rapping, or no, he was like dancing with the guys, you know, that were doing the intro song, the music. You know, he was like showing up, yeah, you know, in my hometown, chilling. Only like walking to, you know, to the ring, fucking high hopes and shit. Everybody's like there to watch him. He's supposed to beat Randall Bailey easy or whatever. Randall Bailey was just there for a paycheck. But the thing is, Randall Bailey has dynamite hands. He's one of the last purest punchers. One of the last purest punchers with a little bit of technique that I've seen that has been fighting in my era. You know what I mean? Like the late 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like when I started getting into it big. Randall Bailey in the first round with Bonsu, the hype fucking boxer, drops him with a left hook and it demolishes him in one round. Dude, Randall Bailey is so underrated when it comes to fighting. They're like so underrated. And then they give him to Mike Jones. They give him to Mike Jones. I'm like, dude, Mike Jones, he will not. I've never seen him take a good punch. I've never seen him take a solid hit. So let's see if he can take Randall Bailey's hit, then he's gonna win. But I feel like at the end of the day, Randall Bailey is just gonna get that right overhand, dude. That's all he do. That freaking right is damn dynamite, man. He's got poison in his right, and sure enough, he lands it on Mike Jones, and Mike Jones got spiked in the dome, and down goes to the floor, and 1, 2, 3 to the 10, he was out. You know what I'm saying? Broken bones and all. Randall Bailey pretty much upsets people when he's supposed to lose. He's supposed to lose against Devin Alexander. If Devin Alexander is not careful, he's gonna get iced. If he's not, I believe Devin Alexander can. Okay, I believe he can really beat Randall Bailey. I can't. If he really does what he does best, and just the combinations, just go around and just try to outbox him, yes, he will be able to fucking beat him. But if he doesn't, and Devin Alexander gets close, he's gonna get iced. He's gonna get iced like freaking Corona bottles, man. He's gonna get iced bad. And because Devin Alexander, I've never seen him pull it out of the fire. When you almost got put in the trenches, in the pits by Timothy Bradley, he broke down. So hopefully he doesn't break down this time. Hopefully he can outbox him. I give it to Devin Alexander by unanimous decision, but I'm looking for a knockout by Randall Bailey. Because the last 2 times I've seen Randall Bailey fight when he was supposed to lose, he knocked the other out. Knocked him out. Dead. Cold. Comatose. That's Randall Bailey for you. Okay? That's my dude right there, man. I've always rooted for him. Because he never disappoints. He never disappoints because he behaves the way he's expected to behave. He's a champion. That's the way it is. What else? Wait. What else was I gonna talk about? Oh shit. Okay, the fight that I really wanted to talk about is Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus La Maravilla, Sergio Martinez. Okay, let me talk about this one for a minute. The last 2 fights of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus against Veneno, Marco Antonio Rubio, and versus Andy Lee, the Irish Pride. With a Marco Antonio Rubio, I was like, Marco Antonio Rubio has enough what it takes to take Julio Cesar Chavez to hell and maybe give him a war. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. demolished him. He demolished him. Easy. Okay, but the thing that I got a little suspicious was that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. didn't give a blood test. He didn't give a blood test at the beginning of the fight. You know, he kind of like, ooh, I can't go pee. He was like, I can't pee. Man, I pulled that shit on my probation officer one time. When I knew I was dirty, I was like, man, I can't pee. Blah, blah, blah. Because you have something to hide. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has something to hide if he was unable to pee. Now, this last fight against Andy Lee was supposed to. Okay, hold on, baby. Give me a second. Hold on, right quick. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Hold on, baby. Hold on. So, anyways, Andy Lee. I gave it to Andy Lee. You over here? I give it to Andy Lee in the beginning of the prediction. I expected Andy Lee to take Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. To hell, to the trenches. I was expecting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. to fold against Andy Lee. Andy Lee was a disappointment. Actually, it wasn't really. Okay, here's where I'm getting at with this. Remember, I was telling you a couple minutes ago about Veneno and the fight against Marco Antonio Rubio, how Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. couldn't give a pee test? Well, guess what happened? Guess what happened the second time when he fought, when he was fighting Andy Lee? He couldn't pee again. He couldn't pee. He refused to go. I can't go pee-pee. Well, what can I do? Well, let's just fight. Okay? Now, it was suspiciously easy the way Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. took apart Andy Lee. I got Andy Lee. That's my friend's name, Andy Lee. Anyways, Andy Lee. He took him apart suspiciously easy. How? Okay, I get it. You're the son of a legend, but you weren't supposed to get rid of him like that. It was pretty much like Andy E's dynamite punches weren't even affecting him. That's suspicious. A little suspicious. I'm not saying he's drinking out of the same fountain water fountain that Manny Pacquiao is drinking out of. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's a little funny that, you can't give a drug test. You beat these dudes up easy, and you don't give a blood test after the fight. And all these people are getting caught with steroids and shit. So what am I supposed to think? It's like the whole UFO thing. He sees a UFO. He sees a UFO. He sees a UFO. Does everyone have to be there at the same time to believe that there was actual UFO? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, you gotta be smart. You gotta really think about it. What the hell was he hiding? Was there something he was hiding? I can do it. If I knew how to give a BP test, I know you can drink water like a motherfucker, and it'll come out like, like you'll be pissing like a racehorse, like in less than 30 minutes. Why didn't they not do that? Why didn't he do that? Okay, that's why I was suspicious. Now, Sergio Maravilla. Sergio Maravilla is a different. What happened, baby? What's the matter? What's the matter? It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Don't do that, baby. Don't do that. No, no. Okay. Okay. All right. My bad. Sergio Maravilla is a professional. Sergio Maravilla is gonna say, hell no. He's better take that damn blood test. I mean, my bad. That urine test. If he doesn't take that urine test, I ain't even gonna fight. Because he's smart. I don't blame him. Look what happened in this past fight. He's gonna make sure that there's gonna be a urine test, a drug test. And if there isn't, then what am I gonna fight? Okay? Julio Cesar Chavez has been shining. I get it. He's been shining. He's been doing this. He's been doing that. A lot of people are jumping on his bandwagon. That's the only thing that sucks about boxing fans. I'm not saying boxing students. Boxing fans. They're fans of the winners all the time. Just the winners. Winners. Somebody loses. They kind of like ignore him. You know what I'm saying? A la Pavlik. A la Katsides. A la everyone. Bandwagon hoppers. I always stick to the dudes even after they lose because I look at what they've done during that fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of the fighters, I'm a fan of the fights, not fighters. Okay? That's the difference. Maravilla is gonna take apart Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Maravilla, the way he fights, with his arms down, going in and out, bam, bam. And so Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. doesn't move his head. He doesn't move his head. Julio Cesar Chavez, I'm just gonna say Chavez. Chavez, jab, left hook to the body, boom, right cross, left hook to the body. That's what he needs is the left hook to the body to slow down Maravilla. But Martinez, he's gonna be popping him over and over with that overhand left, those jabs, that speed, wrestling. Julio Cesar Chavez has never seen anybody like Maravilla, man. He's never seen anybody like Martinez, never. So I feel like Martinez is gonna finally beat the shit out of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., spanking him like this. That's how he's gonna do it. And at the end of the day, we're just gonna have the Jerry Cooney of the middleweights. You know what I'm saying? That's Chavez being the Jerry Cooney. The big hype. He does have some skills or whatever. But he hasn't fought anyone solid. Only person solid that he's fought was Andy Lee, and he demolished them easy. I thought a little suspiciously, but at the end of the day, Sergio Martinez is the fucking man. I can even think that he can even beat Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? That's how confident I am with Martinez. And say what you say. If there's no blood test, I'm gonna withdraw this prediction because I would say that JC Jr. is on some shit. You know what I'm saying? So just be wary of that. Be wary of that blood of the urine test. Okay? Just remember that. If he's refusing to do that, to do the urine sample, it's not the first time. It's not the second time. It will be the third time, and that's garbage. That's garbage, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is JERMZ Boxing, aka JERMZtradam, the boxing prophet. I got music, JERMZ the rapper. Subscribe. Every beat that I made here is mine. So yeah, just let me know what you think. And there's not many fights out there. I actually made a prediction video before that I didn't upload because two of those fights went to crap. So that's why you haven't seen me up in a minute. So yeah, just throw me fights that you want to hear about, man, because all my predictions are based on suggestions, okay? And so far I only got a handful of them. Not many fights out there. I know Vladimir Klitschko is gonna fight next, but all the Klitschko fights always end up the same way. Dominant. Did you see Klitschko with Thompson? Oh my God, dude, Klitschko. Forget it. I don't even want to say nothing. Klitschko's are they're the man. Both of them, a two-headed dragon king, and they're taking over everything. Took apart Tony Thompson, easy. Like the first time, and even Thompson had flashbacks of the first fight that he got knocked out the same way. You know what I'm saying? So, Kane, Klitschko's forever. You know, they're gonna be like, that's it. That's the truth, okay? So, bada boom, bada bing. I'm getting ready to watch the Cesar fight. Okay, I'm almost done. I'm ready to watch the Cesar David Haye fight. I got a prediction for that. I noticed that I didn't pick a winner. I just said what it was gonna happen, but the winner's gonna be David Haye. Okay? The winner's gonna be David Haye. If you want to see that prediction, just put JERMZ Boxing Cesar Haye. You know, you'll find it. Whatever. So, but I didn't mention the winner, so right now I'm mentioning the winner's gonna be David Haye. Okay? So subscribe, JERMZ Boxing, blah blah blah, whoop de whoop, and peace.